This is the second part of my travel guide for the Indonesian island of Java, focusing on Central Java. Do check out the first video focusing on East Java, which I would highly recommend as an adventure travel destination. Central Java is another excellent place to visit with a good mix of cultural, historical, and natural attractions. At the end of this video are activity costs for reference. Here is a location map of the places visited during the trip. The first day is spent on joining a day tour visiting Borobudur Temple, Prambanan Temple, and a few other places. The pickup is at 4 AM with an hour drive to Punthuk Setumbu to see the sunrise over Borobudur Temple. Borobudur is the world's largest Buddhist temple. The hill is quite a distance away, so unless you have a DSLR camera, you will likely end up with this sort of handphone pictures. The nearby building that resembles a chicken is popularly known as the Chicken Church. In reality, it is supposed to resemble a dove and is a prayer place for all religions. As Borobudur first entry is at 9 AM, there is still 1.5 hours to kill. The tour made a stop at the 9th century Mendut Candi and the monastery besides it. Mendut, Borobudur, and Pawon are all Buddhist temples and are built in a straight line. If you are here with a guide, he will explain the significance of the various statues and trees located in the monastery in relation to Buddhism. The next location is the highlight of any Central Java trip, the world's largest Buddhist temple of Borobudur. It dates back to the 8th century and has 5 square terraces topped with 3 circular tiers of stupas covering 2,500 square meters. To begin the visit, you are given sandals to wear to protect the fragile temple. You will then be assigned into groups for guided tours by temple guides who will explain the history and significance of the different aspects of the temple. The guided portion takes roughly 45 minutes and you are given another 25 minutes to explore on your own. It does feel somewhat rushed considering the size of the temple with 504 Buddha statues and 2,672 relief panels. Do take note that you are not allowed to go up the temple on Mondays and there is limited ticketing per day to around 1,000 visitors. Those not having the tickets are limited to the lower temple grounds. One negative is that the exit route is unnecessarily lined with endless gift shops that will take 15 minutes to reach the end. The day tour will do the Lava tour next, which involves changing the mode of transportation to a jeep. This includes visiting the Sisa Hataku Mini Museum, showcasing the remnants of the 2010 Mount Merapi volcano eruptions. This is the most destructive recent eruption that claimed 353 lives. There are also eruptions in 2018, 2021, and 2023. Unfortunately, due to cloudy conditions, I am not able to see Mount Merapi itself. The Lava tour ends with a fun and exciting circular track ride over a local river. It provides an uplifting activity after the sobering view of the tragic destruction experienced by the people living in this area. Prepare a raincoat or you will get wet. The day tour ends with a visit to the stunning Prambanan Temple compound. It is the largest Hindu complex in Indonesia, built in the 10th century. It consists of Prambanan Temple, Sebu Temple, Prawirotaman Temple, and Jomblang Temple. Prambanan Temple is the largest among them and itself has 3 separate temples dedicated to the 3 great Hindu divinities, Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. The other 3 temples are actually Buddhist temples. While Borobudur is famous for its sheer scale, the Prambanan Temple are best known for their height and intricate details. The temple dedicated to Shiva is the tallest at 47 meters. There were once 240 temples altogether, but most of them has been destroyed by hundreds of years of natural disasters. This can be seen by the massive amount of ruins all around. Reconstruction started in 1930s and is ongoing. The day started at 4 AM and ended at 6 PM back in Yogyakarta. It was a long but satisfying day. The second day is another day tour visiting Jomblang Cave and Timang Beach. The journey from Yogyakarta to Jomblang Cave takes 1.5 hours. It is a unique cave system accessed via a 60 meters deep sinkhole. You have to reach here by 10 AM or you will miss the schedule for the day. All the visitors are required to change into rubber boots as the cave is muddy. Everyone then put on harness before being manually lowered down via rope system in groups of 2. Once you reach the bottom, you will wait for the rest of the group before being guided 200 meters into the cave system. It is best to bring your own torch as it is dark inside. At the end of the cave is another 90 meters sinkhole. At around noon time, the sun's rays make an incredible sight, shining into the cave and illuminating with magical glow. Once finished, everyone is again manually pulled up by a team of villagers in groups of 2. It is another 1-hour journey to reach Timang Beach from Jomblang Cave. At the village nearby, you have to pay 350,000 rupiah for a 20 minutes return jeep ride to the beach. Actually, there isn't really a beach here, but rather a cliff on one side and a small island on the other, surrounded by violently crashing waves, which makes it a sight to behold. You can cross to the island either by gondola or a rope bridge. Both involves a further entrance fee, and I chose to go using the rope bridge. The main activity here is to take nice photos of the views from both the cliff and island. There are also some small wooden huts selling local food and drinks, and the tour ends with a 2-hour journey back to Yogyakarta. Before calling it a day, do visit the most popular shopping street in Yogyakarta, Malioboro Street. Every evening, the street is turned into a pedestrian-only zone after 6 PM, and the place will be packed with local and foreign tourists. Half of the shops here are selling batik clothes, which is done with a traditional technique using wax and dye. There are also other shops selling crafts, bags, souvenirs, and food snacks here. A good place to buy something to bring home. If you are feeling adventurous, there are also a lot of street food stalls as well. And the street is lined by horse carriages and motorized becak offering rides around the surrounding area. The surrounding area is a lively place to stay while visiting Yogyakarta. For the third and final day, I will be exploring Yogyakarta itself. The first location is the Water Castle, or in the local language Taman Sari. It is quite a small place, so get here early for the 9 AM opening before it gets crowded. A larger area used to be the private garden for the Sultan of Yogyakarta. Now only the bathing space, underground tunnel and mosque remains. The bathing space has a unique story that this is where the Sultan would hunt for wife. The place does feel a bit fallen into disrepair since it is no longer part of the palace. Besides the bathing space, the mosque is closed during my visit, so I'm only able to visit the underground tunnel. Note that the closing time is 3 PM. Located just 15 minutes walk from Taman Sari is Keraton Palace. Use Google Map and it will lead you through some back lanes, but it will get you there. This is where the Sultan of Yogyakarta and his family stays, beside being the cultural and spiritual heart of Yogyakarta. Built in 1755, it is an excellent place to view Javanese architecture with its pavilions, courtyards and buildings. There is daily free performance in the inner pavilion, which vary depending on which day you visited. It could be a gamelan performance, which is the Indonesian orchestra, or wayang golek, which is puppetry art, classical dance, Javanese poetry, or shadow puppetry. In the other buildings, you can find displays of royal collections such as jewelry, weapons, household items, musical instruments, puppets and manuscripts. There are detailed displays of various aspects of royal life as well. Definitely a must visit while in Yogyakarta. Note that the opening hours are 8 AM to 2 PM. Next stop, I took a 15-minute grab ride to Prawirotaman Street for lunch as well as checking out the area. This is a good alternative place to stay other than Malioboro Street area. Prawirotaman area is more artsy, filled with bars, cafes, restaurants and craft shops. Via restaurant is a good place to eat both Indonesian and Western cuisine. The nearby Temple Gelato serves the best ice cream in town. Even if you are not staying in this area, it is worth to check this street out in the evening. At night, I would recommend joining a food tour available in either Klook, Wilder or Get Your Guide, as this will allow you to sample the local food and snacks that you likely won't find on your own. The tour will start by gathering at a designated location where you will join 7 to 9 other participants. First stop is a street stall selling kopi jos, which is the coffee prepared by putting a burning charcoal into the coffee. This is believed to remove the coffee acidity as well as keeping the coffee hot. You will also get to sample some skewers of your choice. Mine is chicken intestine and quail eggs. The sambal on the rice packs is very spicy. Then the tour will bring you to Malioboro Street to try lumpia, which is local version of spring rolls. Yogyakarta's version are fried. Another food truck is bakpia, which is mung bean biscuit. The tour will arrange motorized becak ride to the next location where you will try gudeg. This is a famous Javanese dish made from unripe jackfruit, chicken, egg and served with spices. This is followed by visiting a shop selling traditional herbal remedy. Truthfully, the drinks tasted horrible, but they are supposed to be good for health. Lastly, we tried bakmi, which is noodle cooked over charcoal stove. It is quite delicious. Final location of the tour is not food related but a visit to Alun-Alun Kidul. This is located just south of Keraton and is a popular place for locals to hang out at night. One of the unique things you will see here are the eye-catching illuminated cars. These are actually not motorized. Another fun thing to do is to try out a popular challenge. There are two huge banyan trees in the middle of the square. In the past, the Sultan had a moral test for anyone wanting to work in Keraton. The person needs to walk about 15 meters towards and pass through the middle of the trees while blindfolded. It is a lot harder than it sounds. Overall, the food tour experience is fantastic and fun. Do bear in mind that the food truck might be quite adventurous and unusual. Lastly, I will share the cost for the various activities as reference. Do pause and have a look. For essential apps to use and a guide on how to travel between Surabaya and Yogyakarta, do check out the end of my East Java video. With that, I conclude my Central Java trip. A quick reminder to help like and subscribe to my channel for future travel videos.